everybody, Mumtaz here. Let's go over all the streaming options for Tuesday night, February 9th. The first game is between the Nets and Detroit. Nets are favored by 6.5, which shouldn't be a surprise. Everybody on Detroit is out. Dylan Wright, well, questionable. Wayne Ellington, Blake Griffin is not going to play. While on the Nets, KD is out. Kyrie will play though. So the guy with the biggest upside is Joe Harris. If you really need his points and threes, he's probably the best option. And they have a back-to-back today and tomorrow. So you use one acquisition, you get double the value. Same thing with Jeff Green. Not as many points, not as many rebounds, but really, really efficient and can give you a little bit stocks. DeAndre Jordan is pretty obvious. You want the rebounds, you want the blocks, you can stream him. And I'm not too high on Timothy Luwawu. After those three guys on the Nets, playing 25 minutes, Timothy Luwawu really not going to do much. Maybe a little bit scoring and that's it. On this Nets team, nobody on the bench can give you playing high minutes, can give you a lot of defensive stats, and nobody can really, other than DeAndre Jordan, can grab you a lot of rebound and block, decent blocks. But nobody's gonna get the assist because Harden is gonna have the ball in his hand. After the big three, nobody's really getting any assists. The most is Joe Harris playing 30 minutes, only getting 2 assists. So, and on the Pistons side, Blake Griffin is out. So I'm just gonna assume that guys like Dylan Wright, Wayne Ellington, they're questionable. But let's say one of them is out. Josh Jackson, either way, should be the pickup. He definitely has the most upside, but you have to be a little bit careful in category leagues because he's a really, really bad free throw shooter. So if he's having a great game, he might go to the line 8 times and miss 4 or 5 of them. That is possible. So the efficiency might be rough, but the counting stats, the upside is there for sure. Mason Plumlee, stream him if he's not rostered. He still has really good value in the short term, but I worry, as they keep losing, there's no point playing. Even like a Blake Griffin or Mason Plumlee, there's really no point playing them. Wayne Ellington is also questionable. So a lot of guys off the bench like Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. I think I like Isaiah Stewart. He has, the stats he's getting pretty clear. He give you those big man stats. In 18 minutes, he can give you 5.5 rebound and some blocks. I would like him. After Josh Jackson, if Wayne Ellington, ends up playing, he's also a good option for points and threes. Let's move on to the next game. The Houston Rockets and New Orleans Pelicans. Houston Rockets had a back-to-back, and today, Victor Oladipo is not going to play. He played on Monday. So John Wall, Eric Gordon, they're both playing. Wood is obviously out, and Cousins is going to play a back-to-back. If he hasn't been rostered in your league already, you must grab him until Wood comes back. He had a pretty good, decent game last game. 9 rebounds and 3 steals. In category leagues, he's really, really valuable. In points league too, his efficiencies are rough, but he gives you all the counting stats. In 19 minutes, he's grabbing you 7.4 rebound and a steal, 2.5 assist. Another guy that I'm interested in is Eric Gordon. In 28 minutes, averaging 18.4 points. Also, Wood is out, so he should, give you enough volume for you to stream him. I would even roster him, I think. He's going to give you 18, 19 points. You're not going to find that many guys. Maybe like Bogdanovich certainly is not doing that so far this season, right? But nothing else really. Daniel House started last game. Don't really give you all their defensive stats, while Jason Tate does. He has the defensive upside, can give you steals and blocks. I really like him. David Nwaba in 22 minutes giving you 1.2 steals. So if you want a little bit defensive stats, I would go for Jason Tate because he give you a lot more blocks. But David Nwaba and Sterling Brown, they probably give you a little bit more steals, but they're not gonna all of them grab a little bit rebound, but they're not gonna give you the assist. They're not gonna give you high scoring. Not too excited about any of them. And on the Pelican side, Josh Hart is questionable. So if Josh Hart cannot play, I would absolutely take a stream Nickeil Alexander-Walker. In 21 minutes this season, he's averaging 1.3 steals. That's really, really good. I'm just talking about math here. If he can play 30 minutes, it's like 1.5, 1.6 steals. Even more, actually. right? Maybe like 1.7 based on his 36 minute rate. So I would go for him. And also, he even have the upside in getting you the points. Eric Bledsoe, if he gets dropped in your league, you can also stream him, but don't expect the defensive numbers. He used to be a 1.5 steals guy. I don't think the steal numbers are coming back. A little bit assists, really. Okay points. And after Nikhil Alexander Walker, I'm not interested in JJ Redick. If Josh Hart ends up playing, you can stream him for some threes and some rebound. He's really consistent, getting those 7-8 rebounds, and he also offers a little bit defensive stats. Let's go to the next game, the New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat. The Knicks very very interesting. Derrick Rose is doubtful, so he's not going to play, but he will play soon. I think everybody, all the Knicks guard, you can't really drop them because I think D Rose is going to come into a rotation play 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe not 20. I don't know. Tom Thibodeau might just play him over 25 minutes. So if anything, D Rose's value I think probably goes up. This is just my speculation. And all the guards on the Knicks team, I think their value takes a hit. Even RJ Barrett. We will see what happens. RJ is being averaging 17 points, but what if D Rose plays 25 minutes and D Rose is probably gonna have a high usage when he plays. Elfrid Payton, not really interested in him before, but tonight, yeah, you can stream him. 3.7 assists is not a lot, but it's useful. Alec Burks, sure, he's averaging 13 points in 26 minutes. I think once Dito starts playing, his role on this team is even gonna be, smaller on this team. Austin Rivers, no. Emmanuel Quickley, yeah, you can forget about him. Don't really see him. Without D Rose, he played 30 minutes. Obviously, if he played 30 minutes, he can put up big stats. But now that D Rose is here, nope. Nerlens Noel is an option you want to stream. You can stream him for. Is he? Oh, he's out. Never mind. But if he plays, the steals and blocks really really valuable. And on the Miami Heat side, Kendrick Nunn, without a question. Whenever he plays, we get 30 minutes. He'll put up decent stats. Kelly Olynyk is another guy that I want to stream for just nice all-around stats. For a big man, shoot some threes, grab me some rebound. Duncan Robinson, only threes and points only, and he's not even giving you that many points. 13 is okay. If he's having a good game, he might give you 18 and 19. I think that's his ceiling. He's not gonna pop off for 25. Very very unlikely. Yeah. After that, nobody's that interesting on the Miami Heat. The next game, the Warriors and the Spurs. Warriors, there just aren't many. Yeah, James Wiseman, Kevon Looney's out, and on the Spurs side, Eldridge, Derek White, Lonnie Walker is probable. So there's some usage opening up on the Spurs side. On the Warriors side, really after their Draymond Green, Kelly Oubre, Andrew Wiggins, and Steph Curry, nobody's that good fantasy wise. Nobody, because nobody can really give you the high defense. Nobody's really getting the assists. Nobody's really just give you a little bit scoring and rebounds. Right, rebound is just like whenever you play high minutes, you're probably gonna get some rebound, unless you like Brook Lopez or something. Not interested in any of the Warriors guys. And on the Spurs side, the guy you want to grab and stream him until Eldridge comes back is Jakob Poeltl. He had a great game last time. Really good field goal, good rebound and blocks. He will continue to do that for the rest of the week, I believe, until Eldridge comes back. I think he might be out for a week or two. We don't know. Patty Mills is another option with Derek White out. He's even with Derek White, he'll come off the bench, give you some decent scoring. 13, 14 points, a little bit threes. No defensive stats, but really wouldn't really turn the ball over at all. Rudy Gay is also another option. Give you, come off the bench, play 20, 25 minutes, but give you 12, decent scoring, decent efficiency, and 5 rebounds. That's what you can expect. And give you a little bit steals and a little bit blocks. Just efficient won't really hurt you anywhere. Let's move on to the next team, the Boston Celtics and Utah Jazz. Jaylen Brown is questionable, while on the Spurs, Mike Conley is out. So with Jaylen Brown, so I'm gonna assume if Marcus Smart is still out. On their guards rotation, I like Peyton Pritchard the best, but the upside is really not low. Jeff Teague is already he's washed at this point. On big man, Tristan Thompson, if you want some rebound, he's the best option. And they got a nice few games coming up for the Celtics. So you can grab Tristan, stream him for a couple games, and then drop him if you really need his rebound, because he's pretty much negative everyone else. Daniel Theis, if you need a big man, he doesn't grab as many rebounds, but he's efficient, give you some steals and blocks. And Robert Williams is the one with the most upside, obviously, but with the one with the lowest minutes on most nights. But in 15 minutes, he give you 5-6 rebounds, a steal, and 1.5 blocks. Let's say if he give you a steal and a block and 6 rebounds and good efficiency, you will take it, right? For streaming purposes, especially if you need those 3 categories, and he doesn't really hurt you. I don't think he'll go to the free throw line hurt that free throw line that much. So that's Robert Williams. I like him. If he can definitely pop off. Somehow, he's having a great game, play 20-25 minutes, he can put up big stats, especially the defensive stats. On the Jazz side, stream Joe Ingles. With Mike Conley out, he will probably even get you a lot of assists, a little bit threes, that's about it. His days of getting 1.3, 1.4 steals, they are no longer here. He's averaging 0.4 steals this season. Really, on the Jazz, nobody's averaging a steal on the entire team. So maybe there's something with the defensive scheme. Only Mike Conley getting 1.4. Everybody, the next is Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson. 0.8 and 0.9. Very interesting, the Jazz. Maybe their defense they don't care about getting the steals. Right? Maybe the defensive scheme just really won't get you that many steals. So it's frustrating, especially if you own Donovan Mitchell. The next team is the Sixers and Kings. I think Kings, they like to give a lot of stocks. So it will be good to stream some Sixers guys, in my opinion. Sixers favorite Joel Embiid is off the injury report. He should be just destroy the big guys inside. Maybe Hassan Whiteside get a couple more minutes because Joel Embiid is a big body. Right? Maybe Rashawn Holmes is going to be in foul trouble because Joel Embiid is going to attack him. On the Sixers side, with everybody healthy, you can stream Seth Curry and Danny Green. Both guys are going to get 27-28 minutes. For some 3 scoring for Danny Green, it's a little bit steals and blocks. Matisse Thybulle, his minutes has been up in the 20s. In 20 minutes, he can give you 1.5, 0.7 blocks on average. So if he can give you 2 steals and block, you'll be happy. Dwight Howard, no. Joel Embiid is playing, and not really interesting. Shake Milton, right? With everybody healthy, probably just give you some points, and that's really it. On the Kings side, Whiteside, he hasn't really, he's been getting minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. He hasn't really popped off. I don't really expect him to do this, but you want to grab him the second somebody on the Kings, some Kings big men get hurt. If Rashawn Holmes get hurt, you go grab Whiteside. If Marvin Bagley gets hurt, you go grab Whiteside, right? If this man in 25 minutes, he could give you top 30 value. I think last year on the per game basis he was 7th, the blocking over 3 shots a game. So this is just a guy to keep an eye on. If anybody gets injured on the Kings, he might get more minutes. Harrison Barnes and Tyrese Halliburton, those guys should already be rostered. So the only guy I like on the Kings is probably Whiteside. Nobody else has that big of an upside. The next team is Orlando Magic and Portland Trail Blazers. And somehow Blazers with everybody out, they favored by 6 points. Magic also had some injuries. Evan Fournier is out. You don't drop him yet because he's been giving you 20 points a game. That's valuable. And blocking shots this season as well, so keep him. This game to stream, Terrence Ross should get a pretty big, pretty nice usage boost. If Cole Anthony's still not rostered, you go pick him up. He's been averaging a lot of assists, up to 4 now. Ken Birch is another guy, pretty efficient, grab you a lot of rebounds. Even though his minutes with everybody getting hurt, he hasn't been getting high minutes. So the guy I like the most is Terrence Ross for threes and points and a little bit of steals with Evan Fournier still out. And on the Portland side, still a lot of injuries going on. CJ McCollum still out, Nurkic is still out. Kanter should probably, he should be rostered in 12 teams, especially in categories. He's actually good in points league as well. A lot of points and rebound, decent points and a lot of rebounds. Melo and Derek, Gary Trent Jr. is the one obviously with the most upside. If you need some defensive stats, you go grab Derek Jones Jr. He can give you over a steal and almost a block. Melo is another guy, but low efficient, maybe a bit of points and some defensive stats. But Gary Trent Jr. is the one with the most upside. He'll take a lot of shots, in my opinion. Playing next to Damian will probably get double teamed a lot and dump the ball to a lot of the open guys on the 3-point line. So he's, if he pops off, great. He can get you 25 points. It's a pretty good possibility if he's shooting the ball pretty well. And that's it for all the games. See you guys later.